Welcome back to the final segment of today's program. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo. Daniel, we're going to start off with those wonderful years that we spent together working at the provincial government. We'll certainly, travel a lot with the former governor, James Soong, throughout Taiwan, also overseas. And we both learned from former governor that the passion that he had in terms of people's livelihood, taking care of people's little problem, that's the government's big problems, all those things that he put to use very effectively during those years. What were the other memories that you remember from your year, both as his close assistant and also as the spokesperson for the provincial government?
Yeah, I think one thing impressed me most is that as I said earlier,
yes.
Tip O'Neill is the former Speaker of U.S. House. He wrote a book entitled All Politics Local.
Yes.
Former Governor James Soong mentioned that book so often,
yes.
so I vividly remember.
Yes.
And as you said earlier, throughout the years, I learned one thing. All politics is livelihood.
Oh,
people's livelihood.
Okay, good.
Their daily lives. How expensive the oil price will cost them, right?
Yes.
The consumer prices and the vegetables, and fruits, how much they will cost them.
Yes.
From their pocket money. So this is one thing. So why that's why at the beginning of programs I say the government, the central government, should in the future do as much as they can to improve people's financial burden, living burden. So because that is the trivial things, daily lives, that matter them most. Okay. So whenever the issues debated on the Congress at the various committees, I always remind the administrators or the ministers that their responsibility is to come up with the most effective ways to relieve people's, say, economic sufferings. They say, sometimes they will say, well, that's the law. That's the very little leeway they could do
to change that, no?
to relieve people's burden. I say, then change the law, because the purpose of law should not stand in the way of better people's life. So that's my concept.
Good. And Daniel, we understand that in your career, you were one-time government civil servant and overseas diplomat and spokesperson for the provincial government, and now you're a member of the legislature. All these different capacities, which one do you like the most?
All of them.
You all enjoy.
Because one of the philosophers says that all the roles you traded it will definitely leave marks.
Yes.
I have left different marks from my different careers, experiences. I enjoy that. Being a civil servant, you took order from your superiors and you implemented it, you enforced,
executed,
and that could be very fruitful.
Of course.
And being elected officials, representatives, a congressman, being a congressman, well, you have people's mandate, trust. People give you legitimacy to represent them, to speak out on their behalf. And that's a legitimacy, that's a responsibility.
Of course.
So you're on your own. Instead of, that's very different from being a civil servant.
Exactly.
Because being elected representatives, you're on your own, you got to be vocal, outspoken, to speak out people's, their expectations. So that's different.
Yeah, of course.
But I am very fortunate, I'm very grateful, because you see, being a person from scratch, because I inherited wealth,
family fortune,
started from scratch, on my own, and really, I'm very, very, very grateful.
And you certainly being a very much a motivator.
Yeah.
Yes, and always pushing yourself to the limits.
Persistent,
yes.
Optimistic.
Yes, and if we have young people watching our program at home, what would be your word of advice to them if they are interested in a career in public service?
Work hard.
Work hard.
Learn hard.
Learn hard.
And play hard.
Play hard.
Be sincere.
Okay.
And have integrity and honesty. Honesty to yourself and to the people among you.
And would you think passion is very important in public service because you're serving the public? You know, of course.
Passion, ambitions, whatever you say. But don't forget, you got to build up, good health. Do exercise.
Yes.
Exercise is great deals to keep you fit, to give you your mind and physically fit for your future endeavor.
Yes. We also know that, Daniel, as you are elected from the city of Taichung, there are talks about the city and county of Taichung merging into and be upgraded into a direct municipality by the end of next year in 2010. And what would be your vision, as at the time enlarged Taichung city and county? What would be your vision and your plans that in terms of how to better the greater Taichung area once the reality of a merged city and county becomes takes effect?
Yeah, if everything goes well,
yes.
the mergers of Taichung city and county as municipalities under Executive Yuan will become realities next year. And a lot of people raised the same question to me. Are you going to run in for the mayorship of that merged cosmopolitan municipalities? I say, well, I am not yearning for that yet because being a congressman, I'm very satisfied with my capacity as a congressman because I have been, as I said earlier, as you mentioned, I've been in Washington, D.C., in Johannesburg, in London, Oxford, and I'm very satisfied with being a congressman because a congressman gives me a lot of opportunities to input in our countries' policies.
Exactly.
So I would leave the mayorship to others, politicians in my districts.
More motivated.
Congressman is my, will be always my future goal. It's a kind of ongoing concern for me.
Yeah, and also, Daniel, we know that you have also been active in terms of promoting the ties between the Congress in the U.S. and also the Parliament in Taiwan, the Legislator in Taiwan. How do you think the relationship between Washington and Taipei is today, and also how is the relationship between the two Congresses, the one in Taiwan and the one in the U.S.?
I think the U.S. and congressional relations between the U.S. Congress and Legislator Yuan has been sound. Because we have a speaker, and most of my colleagues in the Congress pay attention to the relations, cultivate good relations with our U.S. counterpart. So that means in sound foundations. As for the broader and wide relations between U.S. and Republic of China and Taiwan's relations, it was greatly damaged during under Chen Shui-bian's former president's administration. In 8 years. But fortunately, as I said, President Mars and his administrations have been doing a good job.
Restoring the trust.
Restore trust and confidence. I think, again, as far as the diplomacy and country relations concerned, mutual trust, integrity, and honesty comes out with the U.S. authorities from time to time. So keep them informed.
Yes.
Don't call them surprised.
Yes.
That's very important.
Yes.
Because good friends won't surprise
each other. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And for the remainder of the program, Daniel, we understand that you have a beautiful daughter, you know, and you're very, very close to her. And can you share with us a little bit about, you know, as a very busy father, how did you raise your daughter and play the role of a very loving father in the years that she was growing up?
All fathers, I think all the fathers love their daughters.
Yes, of course.
That's the human nature.
Yes.
I have no exceptions. She graduated from last year from your alma mater.
Yes.
From Berkeley. Her major is economies and economic affairs, and she's doing fine.
Okay, good.
And she's back in Taipei, and we had wonderful times together.
Okay, good.
Father and daughter.
Yeah. I'm glad that
like father, like daughter.
Yes, I'm glad that you know. I mean, you're now better balance between your family obligations and also your professional commitment. Certainly, you know, like a lot of people watching our program, looking for greater and better things from Mr. Daniel Hwang in the years to come. Daniel, it's a great pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you. Very kind of you and to give me this opportunity to see our audience and to talk to them.
Yes.
And to talk to
in the future, when we have the right opportunity again, we would like to have you back on the Taiwan.
We'll be delighted to do.
Yeah. Thank you for watching our program at home. I'll see you next time on MacroView Television. Thank you.